So today, we are going to review biology to help y'all study for your
instead
finals.
of like a boring book to do all your review for this stupid test, you can watch this video.
Which will be so much
more
more
fun.
videos,
actually.
Yes, there's probably going to be
Okay.
a few. So we're going to start at the very beginning and work our way to the end to the more recent stuff, because I feel like the beginning of the year is where all of our memories start to kind of die a little bit. So, so
We're gonna start out with food chains.
So it's pretty simple. You know, you have the producer being a plant that does photosynthesis, being, you know, taking energy from the sun and water, and
A food chain shows energy from one organism to another, and as things are consumed, the energy
the energy
flows
level goes down
through
So,
the food chain.
At the bottom of the energy pyramid would be the producer, so like the plant, and that's
Right.
where all energy starts. You know, we all need.
Well,
the plants.
all energy starts with the sun.
Yes, and
the
then it goes to the
producer
producers, and
Uses
then
the sun's energy, and then you just have consumers after that.
yeah, and
and-
then you know the organism being a consumer at the top of the food chain would be the highest organism with the least amount of energy left.
Is this a producer?
Yes, Ben, that is a producer. Yeah.
Then, after you have food chains, you have energy pyramids, which show the whole idea of energy. There's less and less stored energy as you go up
To the higher part of the food chain.
point, a higher part of the food chain, or the higher part of the energy pyramid, and that's what an energy pyramid is. And about at each level of the energy pyramid, as you go up organism by organism, you lose about 90% of the energy.
Yeah, about. Yeah. So the next big thing that we've got to talk about is the cycles. We've got the carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, and water cycles.
Here are some pictures of each cycle. Pause the video and study the picture if you need more help on these
So
cycles.
we've got the water cycle here, and then water cycle clearly you've got the precipitation, and
And then evaporation, you have runoff,
you have all those different parts.
some
of the water
basic
cycles.
different. That one's simpler. You
Yeah,
have the
so
nitrogen cycle,
This
which
one's
is
a little bit more complicated. You've got like fossil fuels
and
denitrification and like
all that stuff.
All those.
So
all
learn
those.
those processes
And
labeled
make sure
here.
you know those. You got the carbon cycle, which is basically just exchange of oxygen to carbon dioxide from producers to consumers, and photosynthesis to respiration. This
Right.
being opposites. I would also recommend knowing the equations for those.
Yeah.
Just photosynthesis equation, oxygen equation. I feel like those are both kind of important in that, not even just for this class
Respiration.
though. Like knowing those equations for the rest of your like science education will be good, I think.
Right,
And
right.
will help you out.
And then the oxygen cycle just is quite simple. So
Yeah, and then
here's a picture
also,
of that.
be aware that humans can affect ecosystems with like fertilizer and
Right.
there's all
And-
sorts of different things.
And make sure you know the vocabulary, like limiting factor, things that limit how an organism can
How,
live in an environment. That's
yeah, and the size of populations within
right. So
an
water would be a limiting
ecosystem.
factor, air quality, things like that.
Predator-prey relationships, pretty straightforward.
Competition, symbiosis.
There's different relationships between organisms. So there's the relationship between one organism and another one where one benefits and the other one's just neutral. Then there's like parasitic relationships where one benefits and the other one's harmed, and then there's mutualistic
Right.
relationships where
Neither
one
one.
benefits and where they both benefit. It's mutual. It's symbiosis is what that is. Make sure that you know how to like conduct experiments and know like the variables that like the dependent and independent variables, and how to run experiments in that kind of way. Make sure you know what biotic and abiotic factors are and how those affect the ecosystem. How biotic
Basically-
things interact with other biotic things, and abiotic things, how that can affect the
Right.
biotic
Right.
things. And abiotic being dead, like rocks and water and minerals and all those things, and then
Right.
Biotic being
Anything
plants
living,
and animals and just anything living.
One thing
Make
that
sure. Okay, yeah, no, what were you saying?
One thing that you need to know is that is the difference between qualitative and quantitative
that's what I was
data.
gonna say.
That was actually something that I completely missed. Like when we went over it, I totally did not know what it was on like the one test we had that had like a couple questions on it or something, and I totally bombed it. No, so qualitative being like the quality data, like what's your favorite color is
it's not
If I were
like
to ask-
numbers versus
other things. Yeah.
numbers versus like descriptive
Quantities
things. Like,
and
it's this color. It's
There we
that.
go.
It looks like this. You know.
Right. It's basically quality and quantity.
Well, that is the general of like the first section of biology, the biology review. Come back for the next episode. We're gonna go over the second one, and then the third one, and then we're gonna have like some vocab in one of the later episodes. Okay.
Peace
See
out.
you